right, it's Coach Pauly C. I'm here with Kimberly Treadaway. Thanks for your time. I appreciate you, Kim. And Kim is a year and how long in the business?
So year and a half.
Year and a half. So this past November, she came to me, and we were in crisis mode, right? Breakdown.
Yep.
Right, breakdown mode, and we were trying to figure out what's happening because what was happening wasn't happening.
Right.
Right. What was going on at that time?
So I was not going to meet my personal financial goal for that year.
Mm-hmm.
And that started to become evident probably in July.
Yeah, which was your first year in the business last year.
Right. And my goal was to match the corporate salary that I had left.
Right.
Which was probably a little bit audacious.
Okay.
And so I kicked it into gear in July and really was calling expireds and FSBOs, and nothing came of it. And by November, I was beating my head against the wall.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I didn't meet my goals. I'm such a failure.
Right.
And what am I doing? This
Right.
isn't working.
Yeah, you came to me, you're like, I'm not sure if I should continue or if I should keep doing this.
Yeah.
And it was primarily expireds and FSBOs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so break down. Then how do we break through?
So basically, you gave me permission to stop calling expireds and FSBOs.
You hear that? I'm not all about cold calling, right? People think the suit and the New York accent, it's all about sales and cold calling. I said, stop making the phone calls because that's just not you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and I think because of the culture here and in this office is very much calling FSBOs and expireds. And because I was failing at that slowly over time, I thought, well, maybe I'm just not cut out for this at all.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore.
Maybe I shouldn't do this anymore.
Yeah. So then the breakthrough, the conversation was, okay, we don't have to do that. Right. And what do we focus on? So
we looked back at where my success did come from, and that came from my Sphere and open houses.
Sphere and open houses.
And door knocking.
Right. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the strategy behind that, and then ultimately what that yielded.
So the strategy for switching over to that.
Yeah. Strategy involved with going after Sphere and open houses.
So I will say that I'm still probably doing Sphere at the same level that I was doing before, doing my 36 touches, mostly like just email touches,
electronic,
like
indirect,
that. Phone calls every now and then. But where I really focused was on open houses. And specifically, I watched a video that Melanie put out with Shayna Moakes, and she talked about her success in her first year doing open houses and how she focused on a specific farm, and that's where I was sort of off in the weeds. I was taking open houses wherever I could find them,
but all over the place,
instead of focusing on my farm. And I think the combination of focusing on my farm and doing open houses was where the breakthrough came from.
Right. And so you very strategically went after that your spot, your area, right, and then got involved at a higher level, like maybe one or two trinkets on like what you did to, besides the open house, to engage the area a little bit at a little bit higher level.
So I was door knocking around the open houses. I was using that as a reason to go door knock. And then it happens to be the community that I live in, and so I was just everywhere. I just
you're like Batman. There's everywhere.
And I was doing a lot of open houses in the same small area, and so I would see the same buyers over and over again. And I went back and looked at it yesterday, actually, to see when I picked up those buyers for this year, for this spring. And they all came from June and on last year, so and mostly in the fall.
Right.
So I was doing open houses at Thanksgiving when everybody else was traveling and sitting at home, or between Thanksgiving and Christmas. In fact, one of the buyers that I met her at the end of December, when other agents I think are already celebrating the holidays. Yeah,
well, they're living off of Halloween candy, and come November and December. So, and that's where people are dropping off and slowing down. But you obviously you had an intentional follow-up plan, right? Were you using a specific tool to make sure that happened?
So my tool is more like Gary's card system. I have a binder, so I take all my open house sheets and I put them in there, and I enter them into my 8x8 usually. Be better at that, but I put them in this binder, And every so often I'll just flip through the binder and be like, okay, I haven't talked to this person in a while, and I'll talk to them again.
Yeah, I love that because it's simple and it works. And that's the best follow-up system is the one that you use and that's manageable, that you engage. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And then bam, results. Like talk about results over since the breakthrough, and then you had like a killer month. That was just crazy.
Like April was insane.
April was insane.
Like 5 closings in
Right,
April.
right. What was the sales volume on that? Right, or the GCI? I mean,
probably 2 million.
Yeah, it was 2 million just for April, right?
Yeah.
And so since then, like, what's the activity look like? Or what's the results look like as far as closed deals?
So in escrow, I have a little over about 9 million in escrow.
9 million escrow now.
Either closed or in escrow.
Closed or in escrow.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice, man. That is awesome. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you.
Thanks.
And we're talking now about next steps and next level and where that's going with fine-tuning the database.
Right. Working on my sphere.
Yeah.
Working on my sphere more intentionally. And
mindset stuff. Right? Today we were talking about that.
Yep.
Yeah, because that never goes away.
Script practice.
Yep.
I got out of script. I got busy and I stopped.
Yeah.
I stopped script practice. I also wasn't lead generating at the level that I was in the fall during the spring. I was doing open houses for my listings, which is a little bit different, I think, than picking up unrepresented buyers, because my main priority is to sell that house. So it's not as intentional in picking up buyers. Other listings, yes.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you even have awareness, though, is awesome with that. With both that mindset and that and the strategy of where you're at in your business, because then that just means your ability to make some adjustments. Because look, the game is simple. It's just not easy. I mean, it's so true, right? The bold law. It is simple. It's just not easy because I get caught up in the stuff and my head gets distracted, and then next thing I know, my mindset's kind of crappy and my strategy's off a bit. And so the fact that you even recognize that says a lot about who you are and where you're going.
Yeah. Well, and the reason I went back yesterday and looked at what time frame those leads for the spring came up was I started to panic. Like, what if I missed my window? What if I picked up all my buyers last year in June and I was too busy not lead generating then? So it was comforting to know that I've still got, the rest of the year to pull together leads for next year. Like, I'm not dead in the water yet.
Yeah. Nice. And so grateful for you to share with everybody what's going on in your success. Hey guys, if you want to know more about how to take advantage of what's going on in the Northwest Market Center, whether you're one of our agents or not, hit me up. Consultation to be able to break through that breakdown, because breakdowns are okay as long as I'm having conversation or consultation, or I'm resourcing something so that I can break through. And then bam, those results happen.
Getting permission to quit was
getting permission.
That was it.
It's okay, you don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks guys, stay tuned.